A campfire and cereal box staple that goes back a heck of a lot longer than most people realize, marshmallows are soft, squishy, and rich in delicious marsh. Or is it mallow? The truth is, while most people love the taste of marshmallows on their s'mores, sweet potato pie, or in their cereal, few know exactly what lurks within them. Which is why, today, we're going to take a look at what's really in a marshmallow. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other confectionery treats you would like to hear about. Okay, someone keep an eye out for Mr. Stay Puft, because here we go. The story of marshmallow starts a long time ago. A really long time ago. Like, we're talking a pharaoh could have been snacking on a marshmallow while building his pyramids long time ago. So to understand how marshmallows got their start, we need to go back, not just a few decades or centuries, but thousands and thousands of years. Back then, a wetland mallow plant known as Althea officinalis was native to Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia. Althea can grow up to 6 feet tall, produce pale pink flowers, and it thrives mostly in marshy areas. So that's a marsh-based plant from the family known as mallow. You can probably guess where this is going. But if you're expecting a soft, white, pillowy confection bursting with sugary flavor, you'll be disappointed to know that this plant was actually pretty bitter and fibrous. While not the tastiest treat in the marshlands, Althea officinalis could be eaten during times of famine. That being said, it was primarily used for medicinal purposes for thousands of years before finding its way to that sweet spot between the chocolate and the graham crackers. As early as 2000 BC, the ancient Egyptians would grind the roots up and boil them with honey to make a thick, sweet mixture that doubled as both a health remedy and a prestigious treat reserved only for royalty and the gods. As time went on, the healing power of the marshmallow went worldwide. It made its way to the Greeks and Romans, who used the mixture to treat everything from wounds to sore throats to inflammation, while Arab physicians would use it as a topical application. This kept up right into the Middle Ages, when marshmallow preparations continued to be used as treatment for coughs, stomach issues, and even insomnia. No one's sure how well it actually worked, but it's fun to imagine a doctor handing someone a bag of marshmallows and saying, "Take 2 of these and call me in the morning." During the 19th century, the French got wind of this ancient remedy and did what the French do so well. They turned it into a sweet, tasty dessert. But while they still used the sap of dried mallow roots, those French confectioners also whisked in some sugar, water, and egg whites to give it more of a soft and spongy texture. They called this creation pâte de guimauve and originally sold it as a healthy lozenge. But that lozenge was so yummy, it soon gained a reputation as a delightful candy, and demand absolutely exploded, which was a problem. Why? Well, the process of preparing the new treat required giving it 2 days to dry, and given the demand, that was 2 days too long. So the plant matter was eventually substituted for gelatin, which simplified production significantly. The new and improved marshmallow recipe made its way to the United States in the late 1800s, where it immediately became a beloved confection and ingredient. But there was still room for improvement. Around the 1950s, the introduction of the starch mogul system sped up the production process by using starch as molds, allowing for thousands of pounds of marshmallows to be processed every day and sold as penny candies in tins. But mallow mania didn't really kick into high gear until 1948, when inventor Alex Dumas created the extrusion process, a method in which marshmallow mixture is pushed through metal tubes to create long marshmallow ropes. Those ropes could be then cut into uniform pieces. Now, it seems that no right-thinking human being would ever prefer those little uniform pieces to a long, uncut marshmallow log. But after Dumas patented the method in 1956, it revolutionized marshmallow production. That machine made the marshmallow-making process inexpensive while also providing the sugary treat with their now familiar cylindrical, puffy shape. Marshmallow production hasn't changed much since the dawn of Dumas' machine in the mid-20th century. They're still mostly made from a simple mixture of sugar, water, corn syrup, gelatin, and a healthy burst of air to keep them fluffy. When you look at a typical marshmallow, what you're seeing is essentially a tasty foam made of tiny bubbles. trapped inside a sugary syrup. Emphasis on sugary. In the marshmallow biz, sugar is the name of the game, as it both provides the sweet taste and gives the marshmallow its shape. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The process starts by mixing gelatin with sugar. When the mixture is heated with water, it turns into a syrup, which makes up the structure of the treat once it's cooled. It sounds easy, but the concoction needs just the right amount of sugar to work right. Too much, and you're left with a grainy snack. Too little, and, well, the whole thing collapses into itself. Commercially made marshmallows also usually incorporate some albumin, which acts as a foaming agent, as well as acids like cream of tartar or lemon juice, which increases the stability of that foam. The mixture is then evenly spread, so it can be whipped and air-folded until a cloud-like consistency is achieved. Corn syrup is then added to keep the sugar from turning into crystals, which is what keeps everything melt in your mouth smooth. And then more gelatin is brought in to keep the air bubbles in place and give the marshmallow its signature bounce. And that gelatin is the ingredient that usually surprises people. Why? Well, in case you don't already know, gelatin is made from the skin, bones, and tissues of cows or pigs, and the odors that emanate from gelatin factories are so putrid. Class action lawsuits by the communities they're located in are fairly regular occurrences. Yes, gelatin is in everything from Jell-O to pharmaceuticals. But when it comes to eating marshmallows, few folks imagine they're devouring a puree of cow skin and pig bone. The ickiness factor aside, the inclusion of gelatin also means that traditional marshmallows aren't vegetarian, vegan, kosher, nor halal. So if any of those things are important to you, look for a brand where the gelatin is substituted for another natural alternative, such as agar. Anyway, while several varieties of marshmallow exist, the tried and true standard version uses vanilla flavoring to fine-tune the flavor. Finally, the outside of your mallows will also receive a gentle dusting of cornstarch or powdered sugar to keep them from sticking together in the bag. All of these ingredients, the sugar, the water, the corn syrup, the gelatin, the albumin, the acids, and the flavoring, then work in harmony to bring you what is, in essence, mostly just sweetened air. But it's sweetened air that tastes amazing in a breakfast cereal.
Tastes more marshmallowy than ever!
Whether you prefer your s'more with a well-known brand like Kraft's Jet Puffed, or a more niche option like Stuffed Puffs, which have a chocolate interior that melts when you roast them, it seems Americans can't get enough marshmallow in their lives. It's a market worth over $300 million annually, and around 90 million pounds of marshmallows are consumed every year. For reference, that's roughly 1,000 times the amount of marshmallow that lands on Walter Peck in Ghostbusters. A lot of those sales are because marshmallows have become almost synonymous with campfires ever since the 1920s, when the Girl Scouts Handbook published the recipe for the popular camping treat they called Some More. At some point, however, that name was shortened to just s'mores, because time is money. When they're not at the campsite, marshmallows' other time to shine is Easter, when marshmallow peeps hit the store. These small, colorful bird and bunny-shaped snacks are made the same way traditional marshmallows are, but then pressed into a starch mold and covered in colorful sprinkles, just as they were back in biblical times. Hey, marshmallows have been around for well over 2,000 years, so you can't rule it out. Marshmallows have also managed to puff their way into everyday life. They're a key ingredient in any good Rice Krispie treat, mug of hot chocolate, or as the shape of various occult symbols in every box of Lucky Charms. It can be used in its slightly more liquefied form of marshmallow fluff on sandwiches, cakes, or even ice cream, if the situation calls for it. And what situation isn't improved by ooey gooey fluffified marshmallows? Okay, after hyping marshmallows quite a bit, you should also keep in mind that marshmallows are just straight up terrible for you. Nutritionally speaking, they're about as empty as calories can be, except for maybe that invisible food they eat in the movie Hook. Since they're mostly made of sugar, corn syrup, and maybe some artificial flavors, the USDA has labeled marshmallows as food of little nutritional value, right up there with chewing gum and licorice. That means virtually no fiber, no vitamins, no minerals, or anything else that's even remotely beneficial. The best marshmallows can offer you are some quickly burned calories and little to no nourishment. Foods like marshmallows and their high sugar content that comes with them also present some risks. For example, they can cause blood sugar to spike and crash, leaving people tired and craving more just to get through the day, like drug addicts. but with marshmallows.
Give up the charms, Lucky.
This is especially concerning in children, the main target of marshmallow and breakfast cereal advertising, who can be filling themselves up with 20 to 30 grams of sugar per serving. In addition to being bad for their diets, the mini-sized marshmallows are also known to be the perfect size for becoming lodged in a child's throat. This is especially dangerous when marshmallows are mixed with saliva, and their soft, fluffy texture is replaced by one more resembling sticky peanut butter. And let's not forget that the artificial dyes used in some marshmallows, although approved by the FDA, have been known to cause allergic reactions in some individuals. Surely, some would consider all these risks a small price to pay for a food once reserved for the gods. But your doctor would say that no matter how good they taste, you should probably take it easy on the marshmallows. So what do you think? And what's your favorite marshmallow-inclusive food? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from Weird History Food.